of 2 regular season matchups between these teams. And the tip goes to Jada Richard. LSU coming in, averaging over 100 points per game. Not many challenges in their non-conference, but now they've come into SEC play. 4 of their first 5 games are against ranked teams, and they've started out 1-2.
Kim Mulkey was telling us one of the keys for her against Texas is to take care of the basketball, start that first possession with the turnover.
Here is Madison Booker. And that'll go the other way. The story for the Longhorns, 6-0 against ranked opponents with 5 quad 1 wins. They are the 3rd best scoring team in the country at over 90 a night. Here is Johnson off the bounce, rejected by Brea Cunningham, and now Booker pushes the other way. Harmon pulls up in the lane, well short.
A little bit of an ugly start here to the game. There might be some nerves. You know, these are 2 of the more physical teams in the league as well. Last year when they played, those games were not on the prettier side.
Well, we anticipate a lot of action around the rim, in the paint, and mid-range. Neither side relies much at all on their 3-point games, at least to this point in the season. Williams looking underneath for the freshman, Grace Knox. 3-ball on his way. And Flage says, we can shoot it, Beth Mullins.
And that's certainly a great sign, not only for LSU, but for Flage Johnson. 2 games ago in their loss to Vanderbilt, she did not score. Had a great bounce back in their last game against Georgia. She always gets a little bit more hop in her step when she can hit her first shot.
Cunningham spinning inside. That won't go. And it'll head the other way.
See Flage Johnson so wide open. She's wondering, do I take it? Do I take it? Okay, if you're going to give me that much room, Madison Booker, I certainly will. So especially in that kind of circumstance, it feels good to be able to drain your first one.
Big improvement this year for the senior out of Savannah, Georgia. Best field goal percentage, best 3-point percentage in Flage's 4 years here at LSU. And a part of their national championship team from a couple years ago. But now she's at the top of the scouting report. Here she is driving off the hesitation move, around and out. Offensive rebound, Knox, second block already for Cunningham, and out of bounds to Texas.
One of the things you see a lot from LSU in the quarter court is they do a lot of wing on-ball screening action. They like to involve Michaela Williams. She's really good at initiating. Not only can get to her spot and hit from the mid-range, but will find her open teammates as well. That time, second side of the floor you saw with Flage.
Here's Harmon, double teamed, and now Lee gets Flage up in the air and draws the foul.
Really smart, savvy move by Jordan Lee to get inside, knew that she had Flage trailing her. When players like to block shots, you know that. And if you pump fake them, they're going to leave their feet and try to block the shot. Jordan Lee comes in, jump, and just as it's smart. You know players play differently when they pick up an early foul.
She has been a huge plus this season. Really went to work on her game. Has tripled her scoring from her freshman season. Is playing her best against ranked opponents this year. Misses on the second. All 5 on the floor, double-digit scores. LSU has 6 of them. When Fulwiley comes in off the bench, also a double-digit score. Nice wraparound pass from Joyner, and Knox is fouled.
We saw LSU run their box overload set a lot when Angel Reese was here, and it's just a great way to get that direct post entry on an overloaded side of the floor. Miss the shot, get the board, get to the free throw line.
First foul on Madison Booker will get Knox to the line, the 6'2 freshman from Las Vegas and a part of LSU's top-ranked recruiting class this past season. Making her 4th start here today.
I've really enjoyed watching Knox so far this season. She has a nice bounce to her, great energy, gets to the glass, has a very nice touch on her inside shots.
trying to counter what is the first 0-2 start ever in Kim Mulkey's 26 years as a head coach in league play. But it won't be easy with Texas and then Oklahoma coming up next.
How about Madison Booker just getting to her mid-range, kicking the leg out, hanging in the air. I mean, makes it look as easy as a layup when she can get to her spots like that.
Rebecca, she's shooting 71% on her mid-range shots. Ridiculous number. There's another block, a third already this quarter for the 6'4" Cunningham out of Chula Vista, California.
You see Flau'jae Johnson being aggressive, getting into the paint. Cunningham coming over. Nice job to avoid the foul and get her fingertips on it.
Big hand for one of the crowd favorites, Mylasia Fulwiley, the junior transfer from South Carolina. Off the inbounds, it's Michaela Williams.
I mean, what a treat. If you like watching people take and make mid-range jumpers, both Williams and Booker are as good as it gets in terms of women's college basketball, getting to the mid-range.
There's Harmon. Justice Carlton gets in the lane. Tough shot, adjusted midair and hit it. Richard rifles the pass to Williams. She'll try the baseline and then stepped out of bounds.
But she sees the entire floor, and that time, even though she caught it in the right corner, trying to facilitate, get the ball to the other side of the floor. She's a very good passer.
Booker. How about a resume that says SEC Player of the Year and Big 12 Player of the Year in her first 2 seasons? Well on her way to another All-American honor this year.
They should do, you know, like on the media guide where you have the page that lists all the kids' accolades, they should do it resume style.
Jordan Lee, 16-footer, good, box out. LSU's been working hard on their rebounding numbers after an embarrassing showing in a Kentucky loss where they were out-rebounded by 16. Here comes Harmon. Rory can't knock that down. She's missed her first couple of attempts. And as Fulwiley tried to save it, she hit the back of the backboard out of bounds.
Players need to be better when they see a teammate kind of off balance, falling out of bounds, using their voices. Because even if a player has a hard time with the ball, and it's turning, falling, finding you with their eyes, if they hear you, they at least know where to look.
Texas will get Kyla Oldacre, number 0, on the floor at 6'6". Manning the middle. She'll get a touch right here. The face-up. Couple of hard dribbles. Short. Second chance. Got it.
Oldacre has been so efficient this season, shooting 67%. Even when she misses the first one, you just see her use her strength and size to be able to corral it and finish the second.
Had a career-high 23 last week against Alabama. Bothers the shot there, and off the ricochet, Harmon's got it.
We've seen already physical play being allowed inside the post so far.
Lee lost it, stripped by Richard, and here's Fulwiley. So good in transition. Could not get that one to the rim. Under 5 to go here in the first quarter. Oldacre again with a touch. Over Joyner, got it again.
Great patient work on that last possession. You have a horn set. Oldacre sets the screen, rolls, continues to work until the ball goes to the high post and they get the high-low entry.
She'll grab a rebound as well, enjoying the most productive season of her career, her second year at Texas after starting out at Miami. Lee for 3. End to end here. Not many whistles in this first quarter. Almost picked off. And there's our plenty of moments that you've had over the years with Coach Summit.
Absolutely. With Pat, I mean, she's renowned for that Steelers stare. She was renowned for that, and trust me, I was on the receiving end of that so many times. But I also got to know her as a person. She was one of the first people to call me when I got hired in the NBA to congratulate me, and one of the first people to call me when I got fired to give me compassion. So as fierce as she was as a competitor, she was just as fierce as a human being, and we miss her. We really do. I back Pat.
Now this We Back Pat Day here at LSU. Of course, Rebecca, you had a chance to play against her a time or two. Here's for Wiley. Trying for the three. It's been a slow start for LSU, just 2 for 11. And close to a 4-minute drought.
And that was the first opportunity where LSU has had to get out and run, even to get something in their secondary. But Texas, a great job with their defensive transition, not allowing it to be an easy early look for LSU.
9-5, the undefeated Longhorns in front. The second of our triple header today. Pat would have loved this environment. Travel called, sold out between these two storied programs. 13,000 on hand today in Baton Rouge. 8 times a champ, over 1,000 career wins, and every Hall of Fame you can think of, including, of course, the Naismith and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. She was one of the first women's coaches to get into the Hall. A lot of trailblazers back in Pat's day. And in fact, we wanted to give a shout out, a little history. The first 5 women's coaches that went into the Naismith Hall of Fame: Margaret Wade, of course, the namesake of the Wade Trophy. Jody Conrad, shout out to Jody, just retired at Texas, won their national championship. Billy Moore from UCLA was our first Olympic coach back in 1976. And of course, Pat, and then the late, great Kay Yao, and her success at NC State. Of course, Sue Gunter here at LSU has her name on the court. So many women having a hand in creating a day and a moment like this for these student athletes and fans. Sue was here for 22 years and also was part of the U.S. Olympic program. First points for LSU in 4.5 minutes. They're back within a bucket. Crowd getting behind the defense, and a foul called on the Old Acre screen.
Outstanding defense by LSU on that possession. You saw Texas kind of get bogged down. There was no movement, so they just tried to get the late on-ball screen by Kyla Oldacre. She looked to me like she may have been set on that. D, what do you think?
I think it was a great sell job. It really was. I think the official caught the tail end of it, and the LSU players sold it well.
First foul on Oldacre, and there's a turnover to give it back to Texas.
By that you mean it was a legal screen?
I believe it was a legal screen, absolutely. I do.
Legal, not illegal.
Legal, not an
okay.
illegal screen.
We agree.
And that's why Oldacre had that lovely look.
Yeah.
As officials, D, I would imagine you guys get the adrenaline rush just like the players do in preparing for a big game like this.
Absolutely. And I even said in year 41 of officiating, if I didn't have butterflies, I needed to retire then. I'm sure a lot of people would have agreed with that, but no, it is adrenaline enhancing. It is fabulous out there.
I want to ask you one more, because it feels to me like inside the paint that the officials have let this be physical. Do you go into games sometimes as a crew and know that you're going to let the post players play a little bit more physically?
Yes. Yes, you are. I mean, we've got strong bodies here. We do not want to put our post players in unnecessary foul trouble. We've got to call the guidelines, but if they're big, strong women, let's let them play like big, strong women.
Five on the shot clock. Harmon looks to create. And a chance for the Tigers to grab the lead. For Wiley pushes. Kicked it back out. It'll stay at this end. A reminder, we've got more basketball coming your way. Maples Pavilion out at Stanford. It's the Cardinal and the Duke Blue Devils. Duke, one of a group of teams unbeaten in the ACC atop the standings coming into the weekend. That's 5 Eastern on ESPN. Johnson from the elbow. And the emotion after putting LSU in front. Booker lost it. Michaela Williams has it. Final seconds of this first quarter, and then Flau'jae lost it. And I don't know, Booker, can she get it up in time? She does, to beat the buzzer. The first time since 2003, and a lot of folks you talk to around college basketball, Rebecca, say right now Texas and UConn appear to be a little bit above the rest of the crowd.
They certainly have all the ingredients to get there, and both of them being 2 of the 4 remaining undefeated teams certainly also helps their cases.
Along with Vanderbilt and Texas Tech. Of course, 2 high-scoring offenses come in, and the defenses ruled the day in the first quarter. 11 points, the fewest for an LSU team this year.
Seen a few sloppy possessions for Texas. After that one stagnant possession where they got the offensive foul call, then they had some good movement side to side, but still unable to score, and then that one's sloppy again.
Oh, and they will turn it over again. you know the former point guard doesn't like that.
What are you doing? It's like, sometimes it's already hard to ignore your coach when you know she's yelling at you, but when she's wearing that and yelling at you, how do you even pretend not to see her?
You can't look away from the gold sequence. The pick and the roll, and there's Flau'jae to block it. The shot from Ashton Judd, the transfer from Missouri. Williams, big crossover, and that is the second foul on Madison Booker.
This is just a really tough crossover by Michaela Williams. Madison Booker, though, has got to make sure that she gives her the landing space and doesn't foul, especially because she already has one, you know. Saw Madison Booker get into foul trouble last year in the Final Four. Sometimes you have to pick your battles. You just let that one go so you don't pick up your second.
Williams rattles in the first, and for Booker, Harmon, and Lee, very rarely in the big games are they out of the game, and so this is significant for Texas. And we might have another free throw coming on a lane violation.
I think another foul.
Yeah, it is a foul. It's on Justice Carlton.
Clamping.
What was that, Decander?
It's called for a clamp. One of our points of emphasis, so clamping on the rebound.
The rules analyst courtside with us today. Lee gets the takeaway. Another turnover for Richard. For Wiley will come back into the game, and then Jada commits the foul on Jordan. And a chance for a three-point play.
What a turnover-heavy game this has been so far. Combined 13 turnovers between these two teams. Before Richard even had completed her turnover, Kim Mulkey had looked over and had Wiley on her way to check in.
Lee does get all three. Full court pressure from Texas.
And it's a staple of what Vic Schaefer teams do. They are going to pick you up full court after made baskets in dead ball situations.
Brianna Preston in there defensively for Texas. Flau'jae will pull up in the paint. Cold shooting continues for LSU. Spin inside, no. Koval has the rebound of the Cunningham miss.
There's a couple times now that Koval has done a nice job just holding her position against her big opponents. Her big-bodied opponents, as Decander would say.
Flau'jae, no. Offensive rebound, Koval has it stripped. LSU just 2 of their last 11. But Texas has not been a whole lot better. Yeah, there's a good one off the window from Carlton.
That's the second really tough finish we've seen from Justice Carlton. That time she kind of went through the defender's arms, forcing it off the glass.
Sophomore out of Katy, Texas. And there's a foul on the Williams drive. That'll be on Cunningham, the first.
Good solid defense here, and Carlton just goes right up, has players on both sides of her, full Wiley on the backside. It's tough to finish through a sandwich, Mowings.
She's got good genes. Her mom, Casey, played at Baylor and spent some time in the WNBA. And now Michaela Williams to the free throw line. Both these teams use the stripe extremely well. Hey, Tuesday night, big action on the men's side. A big one in the Big 12 with Iowa State and Kansas. Can the Cyclones stay undefeated? Tuesday night, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Williams has emerged as one of the vocal leaders trying to right the ship for LSU after a slow conference start against very stiff competition. Cunningham. Joyner's got it. Williams. That was a tough shot and Knox strong to the glass, and I think they're going to get Carlton here.
Grace Knox came flying in there to get that board, and then you see her go down. Just comes from the free throw line area. She just wants that basketball, gets pushed, finished. It looks like she goes down hard, might be hurt. What does she do? Gave us a couple push-ups.
That is the second foul on Justice Carlton, so 2 Texas starters are now sitting.
And we've seen so far in this game how deliberate Texas has been and had some success just pounding the ball into their bigs inside.
Williams, boy, they are so good at finding her in their out-of-bounds plays. Usually it's knocking that shot down. For Wiley, looks off a defender, Knox, able to keep it alive, and then Texas clears.
Wow, there's a lot of physicality happening out there.
Lee wants to use the screen. For Wiley, slow to get over. Here comes Williams. So strong, creates some space, and they are still looking for their first basket of this quarter. They only have 4 total so far in the game. But they have been able to keep Texas close. Harmon, a lot of dribbling. Now they're in shot clock trouble. Cunningham, somebody's got to jack one. Rory does.
Yeah, tough possession, and that was a result of very good defense by LSU. You don't want one player doing all of that dribbling on an offensive set.
For Wiley, nice backdoor to shake the defender. They're going to get another offensive rebound and a shot at some second chance points for Flau'jae.
It's the second time in the last 2 possessions that Flau'jae Johnson has been able to get an offensive rebound. We were talking to Kim Mulkey before the game. She was saying that's one way Flau'jae can really help this team win.
On her feet again. Lee for 3. In and out. Second chance for Texas. Harmon still looking for her first bucket. 0 for 5 today. For Wiley with the step through to the rim. Timeout, Texas. Thank you, ladies. How about a 6-0 run right now for LSU? The defenses have dominated. 13 made baskets for the 2 sides, more turnovers than that combined. And Booker and Justice Carlton, 2 starters, out with foul trouble for Texas.
Yeah, as long as you keep this game, close, you don't bring them in until after halftime, and they can play freely. They don't want them picking up a 3rd foul.
Texas undefeated on the season, and the runner is good from Brianna Preston.
Preston's so quick, so you just give her a little seam on the left side of the floor and let her go one-on-one.
Williams in the lane.
Beautiful footwork. Just a simple flat screen up top, and you let her go to work. Defenders stayed with her, but nice step through.
She's starting to emerge as a key component, even though she's getting fewer shots so far this year. A lot of that based on fewer minutes played in their non-conference schedule, which was the weakest of any of the power leagues. But a gut punch of a start to their SEC season, and here comes Preston again.
She's just making a difference, using her quickness. That time it was Flau'jae Johnson who had her as her primary defender, able to get by, once again going to the left side.
Missed 9 games with an ankle injury, and now averaging close to 15 per game in her last 5 since returning. Knox stayed in the air, and I think off the noggin of Sidbury and out.
Nice little screen and roll, an extra pass by Joyner.
Waiting for one more substitution for LSU, and Richard will come in. Flau'jae heads out. For Wiley to Joyner in the lane for 2.
Really well executed play by LSU. Just simple screen the screener.
3 minutes to go here in the first half. Crowd in Baton Rouge has been lit from the start. Oldacre dives to the rim and gets stripped. Oh, that's going to be a foul on for Wiley with the push-off. Malaysia trying to plead her case with the officials.
There's no case to plead.
I was going to say, why?
Why? Full extension of the arms there, D. Cantner?
That's what, sometimes we just shake our heads like, you just did that right in front of my face, and now you want to plead your case? There is no case, to Rebecca's point.
And now the other end, it's Preston's turn to get whistled. Got the elbow up near the grill.
But you saw Texas once again going to Preston. You see her here pushing off, left elbow right there to the neck. Richard defending her, but she's had success on dribble penetration, so Vic Schaefer going to her again. Knox is unafraid. I just like how she plays unafraid basketball. Oh. Backcourt 10-second violation on Malaysia for Wiley. You've got to be aware. And it's easy now because you just look up at the shot clock and see how much time is there and know when you have to get it over.
The turnovers, the story early. Texas with 10. That is what they average per game. That is the fewest in the country. And they have already hit that mark here in the first half. Boy, there's bumping going on every dribble of the ball. Preston is fouled by Wiley. And now she's got 2.
But how good has Brianna Preston been? Putting the ball in her hands, and we saw twice she was able to get by the defender. That time she's able to get over, get fouled, get to the free throw line. Vic Schaefer says, I have one fast point guard in Rory Harmon, and then Preston is my electric one. And we've seen that here in the first half.
She came on strong, was huge for them down the stretch en route to the Final Four last year. Chance to tie it up. Coming up at 6 Eastern on the SEC Network. We back. Pat Week rolls on. We'll get out to Oxford And the next chapter in the Magnolia State rivalry, Mississippi State and Ole Miss on SEC Network. And she misses both.
Yeah, she's only 56% from the line on the season.
Final 2 minutes of this first half. LSU looking for its first top 5 win since they beat Iowa in the 2023 National Championship game. It's been a minute. Williams over Harmon, knocks it down. Preston, the pitch out to Lee for 3, and it's Preston again, creating the shot for her teammate. On the drive and draw. Williams. Oldacre. Nice spin, and the offenses are looking to finish with a flourish here in the first half. Two for one here if they want to take it. Zakiya Johnson. That was partially blocked, and it still wiggles up over the front of the rim. Texas can hold for one. And a foul on Johnson trying to get through the screen. Texas not yet in the bonus. Harmon will make the decision here to close out the half. Lee knocked loose. Richard checks the clock. Good if it goes. In 18 games at LSU dating back to 2008, can they beat a top 2 foe? Same group out there to start for both sides. And we'll keep an eye early on both Booker and Justice Carlton, Rebecca, with 2 fouls each in that first half.
The time you saw Kim Mulkey throw up a play for McKelly Williams to get the ball back and drive to the basket. Looked like she was going to have a good look, but just lost the basketball.
South Carolina already a winner today, so Texas would need the win to keep pace and stay atop the standings. This is a huge game for LSU after their 1-2 SEC start. Johnson, nice pocket pass. Layup is good from Joyner.
That was a beautiful pass because not only were there multiple defenders on Johnson, but the baseline was right there as well. Not a lot of room to maneuver.
LSU needs a win to stay in the SEC race, even though it's early. It has only happened one time in 43 years that a team has had more than 2 losses and won the title.
We're going to interrupt you for this beautiful pocket pass. This message brought to you by a beautiful pocket pass.
Booker off the screen. Vic Schaefer wants to try and get her going. Carlton fouled on the second chance effort. We started out the new year with 11 unbeatens, and in the first week we lost 7 of them. And there are the 4 remaining. UConn a winner today over Creighton, so they're at 17-0. Vanderbilt handily out front in their game today, and Tech won yesterday.
I would be remiss not to comment on Vic Schaefer's beautiful pocket square. Did you notice his pocket square?
Pocket passes and pocket squares? Of course, he's hiding it on us.
It's got multiple flourishes to it. It's quite lovely. And yeah, he still has his jacket on. That thing's usually off in a close game in the first half.
You know, you got to bring your A game on the sideline against Coach Mulkey and against one of the funnest dressing crowds in all of college basketball. They are having a party today. Watching Williams go to work.
I'm going to let it slide that you used funnest.
Most fun, and I'm a doctor of letters. That's terrible on my part. Well, this will test the mettle of Texas in a tough road environment. And it's LSU ball, and they can go up double figures here.
And we were talking to Vic Schaefer earlier today. He said it's going to be a guards game today, and it certainly has been a Michaela Williams day today so far. Absolutely, Texas needs to get things going on the defensive end, see if they can get out, get some transition. Need to get Madison Booker going on the offensive end as well. Did you hear how the crowd was kind of encouraging Richard, make sure you get it over the timeline? That doesn't happen a lot of places.
Boy, that's another turnover. And boy, it's not just Kim Mulkey working that sideline, but if you've been around college basketball for a while, you know about Bob Starkey, longtime assistant who has worked for a lot of the greats of the game. We got to get him in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, folks.
Yeah, he's certainly well-deserving.
One of the great minds. Of course, they've also got Simone Augustus now over there on the sideline, one of the best in SEC history. And in the WNBA, here comes Flage. And that's going to be a held ball, and Flage and Booker collided.
In what a last position for Texas. That's a makeable shot for Madison Booker. I still thought it was a force. She wasn't completely squared up to the basket. There was enough time on the shot clock to work for something better, but that happens when you've been limited already in the game because of foul trouble, haven't gotten the looks you're normally used to getting.
She was out in the first minute of the second quarter. Let's see if they work her way again. Rory Harmon, by the way, still without a basket herself. Oldacre muscles that up and in.
Tough finish because Knox was right there for the double team.
Their best two so far today have been Preston and Oldacre off the bench for Texas. Wiley spins, looking for a teammate, taken away by Oldacre. Harmon breaks the ice. On her sixth shot attempt, she finds the bottom of the net.
She loves that little baseline, mid-range pull-up.
So well prepared and well coached by last year's SEC Coach of the Year and the defending champs in the conference. For Wiley, no. Joyner, yes.
That was a phenomenal pass by Richard to put the right spin on it so it would come right up into full Wiley's hands, and the nice old board by Joyner.
Harmon using the screen and the hesitation. There's Williams, weak side. She'll rebound and run. Pull up three in transition. Bang! Was indeed a pull-up triple. And Texas finds itself in its deepest hole of the season, down 9. Booker responds.
Little curl screen. Difficult shot, but she's able to drain it.
Coming out of a timeout, I think all 13,000 people in here knew where it was going, and Booker's still able to get the shot off. Both these coaches just so good at those out-of-bounds plays and out-of-timeout plays. The set pieces for you soccer fans. Joyner. Boy, that is body on body inside. Knox a nose for the ball.
Those are Grace Knox's first points, but as you heard me talk about throughout this game, she has had a big impact for LSU.
6 rebounds for Grace. And another turnover. Good takeaway for LSU. They've got numbers. for Wiley. Wide open Knox. Booker again. No. One and done trip for the Longhorns.
That was a nice recovery defensively by Williams. Williams has been so good here today, leading her team in scoring, rebounds, assists, steals.
16 points, 6 reaps. For Wiley, you want to try and keep her on the left side of the floor, and that's an LSU turnover.
Grace Knox has made her impact, the freshman, here in this game against number 2 ranked Texas on the offensive glass. She is a workhorse.
And one of the unbeaten's in big trouble. Their largest deficit of the season, facing Texas on the road at LSU. And the defense continues to force turnovers. For Wiley to Knox. Knocked away initially. Williams, foul by Harmon.
Harmon's looking over at the bench and twirling her finger. You have to wait a year for that, Rory Harmon, or at least until you get to the WNBA. You cannot review a foul call here in women's college basketball, or you cannot appeal.
Yes. One. Williams has smiled to the crowd because she knows she may have sold one there. And a couple of free throws for Michaela. 3 for 4, now 4 of 5 today. This is when things start to get interesting for Michaela and Kim Mulkey. You can put up big numbers all you want, but if you're not doing the things that get your team a win, that's what we're looking for heading into the fourth quarter.
And one of the things she wants from Williams is to be more a vocal leader, and she said that she was that in their last game, and I've seen it here for her today as well, communicating with her teammates. There's no reason that young woman can't be dominant every single night. She's got the skills.
The pass there to Richard to round it out. Of course, plenty at stake today, but also the added bonus of the We Back Pat game. And now Booker wants to keep the crowd quiet. Michaela Williams. There we're talking about what are you doing to make the winning plays, not just the stats. Her best game of the season was that initial SEC loss to Kentucky. She had 26. Shot clock winding down. Richard got it up in time. And there's Oldacre. Her 7th rebound to go along with her 8 points off the bench. Boy, another sloppy possession. For Wiley will take advantage.
It may have been a sloppy offensive possession for Texas, but it was terrific active hands by who? Grace Knox that poked that ball away.
Judd. And a blocking foul called on Knox.
So you'll see the poke from Knox, and as soon as Full Wiley corrals it, this is where she gets out head full of steam, so quick. No one steps in to impede her. Booker can't because she doesn't want to pick up a silly foul.
Preston will inbound it. Jordan Lee got it from the corner for 3.
That was a much-needed bucket for Texas.
And now they're trying to turn up the heat. Held ball will stay with LSU.
On the last dead ball, we had a shot of Kim Mulkey talking to Michaela Williams. We saw them from the backside on the camera. From the front side, you saw Kim talking. I saw Kim talking, and all you see is Williams say, "Yes, ma'am." That's how you answer your coach. No matter what they're saying. Well, unless it's Vic, and you say, "Yes, sir."
Flage. That won't go. Booker, nice crossover, and one, Madison Booker. And the undefeateds aren't ready to go away quietly today.
I said a little bit ago that there's no reason Michaela Williams can't be dominant every night. There's no reason Madison Booker can't be dominant every night. Best at the mid-range, so good there, using her explosiveness and size to finish at the rim. Texas making a little charge here.
Foul on Knox, her second. Booker to the line. Added a triple-double to her resume this year. So she and Rory Harmon, one of just 3 pairs of teammates with triple-doubles at their current school, along with TCU and Virginia. Williams, nice one-handed pass inside for Johnson.
First of all, how she navigated the hard head by Oldacre. I'm talking about Williams. And then the pass, come on.
Preston running the point here. Harmon not on the floor. Oldacre. And a held ball on the block will stay here.
Watch Michaela Williams. She gets an on-ball screen. Hard hedge comes, navigates it. And then look at this pass. She doesn't even have a clean control of the ball with her left hand and still delivers it perfectly. That's tough.
On the inbound, wild shot from Judd. And here comes Fawiley again. Malaysia for 3. And let's see who they get the foul on. If it's Booker, it's her third.
D, how do you decide on that particular play who the foul should be on?
Who gained the advantage from the contact? Brenda has coming to hit to the head, therefore causing the disruption here. It's like she has her going back in. That's her judgment. That's what angles are all about, Charlie Brown, I'm telling you. It's a tough play sometimes.
Yeah, so that's the third on Booker. Another block inside for Texas. Looking for a surge here in the final minute of this third quarter. Knocked loose by Williams. What a play by Michaela, and it's LSU ball.
Right now, Michaela Williams' chest is out, and it should be. She's getting it done on both ends of the floor. Just a nice little tap to get the ball away. Man, she is leaving her imprint on both ends.
15 Texas turnovers. They average 10 per game. This is a season high, still with 10 minutes to go. And all the focus on the LSU offense, the defense has been terrific today. Fawiley swatted. Oldacre building a wall at the rim.
I think that was Booker. 2 players got her.
Yep.
First Booker got her, and then Oldacre. Or Oldacre, then Booker.
They get 2 blocks for that?
Half a block each.
5 on the shot clock. Williams had to launch it. Offensive rebound. Johnson, no. Texas. Lee will take a 3. And they did not hold for 1, and a chance for LSU. For Wiley. Got it! And in order to do it, Rebecca, they have to do something that Kim Mulkey says they have been unable to do so far, and that is finish in a fourth quarter. For Wiley. And that is the 4th personal foul on Madison Booker. She has fouled out once in over 200 games in her career.
You just can't risk it. You just cannot risk it on this play. She comes over in the help side. You do whatever you have to do to avoid the foul, even if that means just running by, even if you don't contest. It's so important for Texas for Booker to be on the floor.
So Wiley hits the first. Correct that once. in her 93 games at Texas. And it is all LSU since they were tied to end the first quarter. Oldacre. She's been dominant when she's gotten it inside.
Every possession in this fourth quarter, you want to see Michaela Williams be a part of it. She doesn't have to shoot, but you like her decision making, you like her passing. Let her be involved.
Got 17 points. Here she is with the ball. Trying to shake the defender. Oldacre has it stripped by Flau'jae. No look pass to Zakiya Johnson. Active hands for LSU to win all the 50-50 balls. Oh, that would have torn the roof off.
But Flau'jae Johnson was involved in all of those, and it's been a little bit since we've seen her score, but you can make an impact in other ways. She has today.
Oldacre is the go-to right now, and she draws the foul.
Wonder if Kim Mulkey might go back with Grace Knox. She had just done so much for them, whether it was defensively in the post or on the glass as well.
Let's see Bob Starkey just goes down to the end of the bench to talk to. Don't forget, we've got more basketball coming your way. The end of our triple header out west. Duke at Stanford. 5 Eastern on ESPN. The Blue Devils have got things rolling in league play after a shaky non-conference. Kate Koval will check into the game for LSU.
Yeah, she did a nice job defensively in the first half, using her size against the bigs for Texas. That's more of a defensive substitution than an offensive one.
Still no Rory Harmon out there to start this fourth quarter for Texas. Johnson is turned away. Wiley with Preston. This is quick on quick. Wiley dumps it off for Koval in traffic. Knocked loose.
Malaysia Wiley has done a nice job, though, distributing the basketball here in the second half.
Boy, everything. LSU's getting hands on everything today.
Was that Michaela Williams again?
I believe so.
Tapping the ball, and then it went off Madison Booker's leg. Oh, that's just not something you can do in that situation. Malaysia Wiley pushes off to go get the basketball.
And that's her third.
Great defense. Great defense, but you just got to be smarter than that if you're Malaysia.
She's been called twice on a similar play. Booker gets the layup. Another good out-of-bounds play executed. Madison now with 12. Under 8 to go. And Booker gets a takeaway. Here comes Texas. Boy, they want her involved here every time down the floor. She'll even run a little point. Looking for three. And she's got it!
Now, can LSU show the same discipline on their offensive end of the floor in terms of who gets their touches?
Flau'jae, foul, count it! Johnson with the big stepper through the paint.
Wow, what a take and finish by Flau'jae Johnson. Getting into the paint, getting hit, finishing with the scoop, and then making snow angels in the paint afterwards. Kim Mulkey praising something on Sunday.
And that's the way things have been rolling for LSU so far. Play through Booker. Play through Booker. doing this all with Preston on the floor, not Harmon right now. Booker gets some ISO. Fouled by Williams. And she'll head to the line.
I thought that looked like really good defense by Michaela Williams. She may have gotten her on the hand at the very end. We'll get a quick look at it. See what you think, D. Oh, I didn't think she got her.
Does she get up to the ball, or does she get wrist? I can't tell from that angle. I know I want to be committing, but I can't tell you right now. All right.
Check back here after Booker's first.
Looks like a good ball there. I don't see a whole lot of contact to the wrist. But again, I'm sitting over here so comfortable.
All-American gets the benefit of the doubt, and now 16 points for her. 2-possession game, under 7 to go. As Madison Booker plays with 4 fouls. Flage drops it off. Oldacre bothers. Madison Booker has scored the last 7 points for Texas to get him back in it. Down by as many as 13. Oldacre, that's how you bury a defender.
The difference in discipline these last couple of minutes between what Texas is doing offensively and what LSU is doing offensively. On the Texas end, you feel like they have complete control. They know who they want to get the ball to and who has it in her hands. On the LSU end, that does not feel like the case. And granted, these Texas players, they have a lot more experience, played with one another more. LSU, some new pieces.
Both of their SEC losses, nail-biters. Can they find a way to close it out? Offensive rebound for Oldacre. Vic Schaefer choosing to run with the 5 on the floor. Harmon or Booker, step back, another triple. For Madison Booker, who's only 21% on the season. She's 2 of 3 today. And Texas is within 1 shot.
Give Michaela Williams the basketball.
A 13-5 Longhorn run here in the 4th. Williams tries, Joyner gets him another look. Richard from the elbow.
We're consistent.
The foul on Preston.
How about Madison Booker this second half, how she has come alive. This is a woman who wants to win this ball game. She knows it's going to come down to what she can do. Able to use the Oldacre screen and then hitting the tough 3.
8 triples all season, and now 2 more today. As Richard, an 83% shooter, hits the first. Judd, they do not get Madison Booker a touch. Vic Schaefer did not like that shot. Richard, and it's a 4-point swing. Vic Schaefer calls the timeout.
Bucket or from the 3-point line.
Texas running everything through her to get back into this game with Brianna Preston running the point. Rolly Harmon continues to stay on the sideline. It has been a struggle for her offensively today. She has not played yet in the 4th quarter. Can Booker continue her takeover as LSU tries to close the door? And Booker now has a dozen in the 4th quarter. Working inside and off the window. for Johnson. LSU keeping the Horns at bay. Double team comes, Oldacre drops it off, and Judd misses the layup, and Kyla has been a rock for them in the middle.
Kyla Oldacre first saw the double team come, pass to her post teammate, and then goes and gets the offensive board. Just uses her strength to rip that basketball away.
Double-double for her. 11 points, 12 boards. 66% at the line. Texas is just barely over 50% today at the stripe. And Vic Schaefer's club continues to lurk. That's out of bounds to Texas.
Vic Schaefer over there looking at his sheet with all of his plays and stuff written on it. Madison Booker right there like the quarterback getting the call from her coach.
Booker will track it down. Defended by Michaela Williams. Best on best right here in this matchup. Oldacre sets a big screen. Carlton finds Kyla, rejected by Flaugier. Open shooter is Richard, and that won't go. Oldacre cannot finish. LSU has it. Approaching 3 minutes to play. Kim Mulkey wants a timeout.
Yeah.
Got a 30-second timeout and get you right back.
While some see a financial world upended, we see opportunity. At T. Rowe Price, curiosity drives our analysts and portfolio managers to ask questions others don't. It's why our active ETFs can make the most of an unpredictable market and are ready for whatever's down the road. Active ETFs from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Can the Tigers end the drought against a #1 or #2 ranked team? The last time they won one of those, 2008. They have led throughout this second half, trying to finish off Texas, and Malaysia Fawali will check into the game for the Tigers. Came off the bench in her South Carolina career, continuing to do so here at LSU. Not a lot of experience late in games. Can she be a factor here today? Johnson, no. Offensive rebound, Zakaya. And Mulkey wants another timeout. Time now for a studio update. Kelsey Riggs Cuff.
Yeah, Beth, thanks. We're keeping an eye on what's going on elsewhere in the SEC. Great game between Kentucky and Oklahoma. A top 6 showdown. That's Reagan Beers going to work inside. But we are tied at 34 at the break. And we're also counting you down till our next game here on ESPN, part of our triple header. Toby Fournier and Duke on the road at Stanford. That's next. But we're enjoying the end of this one.
And you certainly don't want to lose the possession there, and you have a player who's kind of trapped a little bit on the sideline, but you also don't want to lose a timeout.
Yes.
Late in the game like this when you might need it under a minute to advance the basketball.
Both sides with 2 timeouts. Possession arrow is with Texas. And Madison Booker continues to play with 4 fouls. Rory Harmon continues to sit on the Texas sideline, as she has throughout this fourth quarter, in what appears to be coach's decision to go with Preston. For Wiley on the drive, around and out. Offensive rebound, rolls off the rim for Joyner, and a foul. And Texas has it.
Joyner really competing on the glass, but can't get the second one to fall. It's Flau'jae Johnson who gets the foul called. Just getting up there.
Yeah, that will be on
certainly.
Johnson, her third. Texas is in the bonus to shoot 2 for Oldacre. The last team that started out this well at Texas, 18-0, 1986. They went on to win the national championship. Trying to rally and survive on the road in the SEC. This is the first of 2 matchups between these two. They'll play in Austin in February. For Texas, it's today at LSU. It's Thursday night at South Carolina on ESPN. Williams controls, drives, dishes. Zakiya Johnson with the layup. Two minutes. Carlton got it. May have gotten an extra step on the way.
Yeah, she roadrunnered it a little bit before she put her dribble down. But once again, Oldacre has known when to pass when the help defenses come.
Does LSU know the decisions to make and who should touch it late? Williams would be a wise choice. Shot clock winding down. Gets it back. Has to launch. And hits a three!
They're going to review it right away. They're going to review it right away.
And D, what's happening right now?
Right now, they are actually going to review the shot to make sure they did not miss a shot clock violation. Does she get the shot off before that clock hits zero?
The call on the floor
That's what they're
is a
looking at right
successful
now.
three-point basket by
They've
LSU
counted it
number
on the
12.
floor.
That player is
We'll
under
get the
review
review
to
right
see if
now.
she released the ball prior to the expiration of the shot clock.
Brenda
It looks good.
Pentoy, Roy Golban, Kevin Pethel, a veteran crew, and
They will confirm.
our rules analyst, D. Kantner, says should be quick to confirm the triple.
After review, the call has been confirmed.
Easy.
And
Good
can
job,
I
Chris.
confirm what a freaking unbelievable big shot that
Yes, you
was by
can.
Michaela Williams?
Oh,
I
my
mean, the
goodness.
clock going down, Lee's hand right in her face. The shot making that we have seen on both ends of the floor by these premier wing players in Madison Booker and Michaela Williams. Holy cow.
Her second triple of the day. A little breathing room for LSU in what is now a 3-possession game. It's Preston at the point. Harmon stays out. Booker running the baseline. They go the other way. Lee. And a foul on the drive.
That was number 30, Gina Richard, her second.
In the first week of January, we lost a handful of unbeatens. And now another one in big trouble in week 2 of the new year. Jordan Lee hits the first. Missed Texas free throws today loom large with a minute to go. Gets them both. Richard, Williams wasn't looking for it, got it at the last moment. In traffic and a foul.
That's not on Madison Booker, is it?
No, it is not. It's on Judd.
It's been too much fun watching these two go back and forth. We need Madison Booker on the floor.
Tiger basketball.
has played much of the day in foul trouble, yet still with 22 points, 7 rebounds. Michaela Williams with 20 and 7 rebounds for LSU. LSU not yet in the bonus. They will on the next one. Richard. And there is the 15 foul. And Jada's an 83% shooter.
Brianna Preston, her third, and the team's fifth. Tigers in the bonus. At the line, shooting 2. Number 30, Jada Richard.
Seven now for Jada. Big free throws for the Tigers. Pass deflected. Booker able to track it down. Oldacre gets him another chance. Lee for 3. That's short. And Richard has it. And the shot clock is off for LSU, and they're on their feet in Baton Rouge.
Shooting 2 at the line, number 30, Jada Richard.
Kim Mulkey played on the U.S. Olympic team in Los Angeles for Pat Summitt, and on this We Back Pat afternoon, the Golden Girl in the Golden Sequins is about to come up with the win of the season for LSU. And one of the last remaining unbeatens is in big. Kim Mulkey said the next step in the growth of this team was to win a fourth quarter. And right now they are right there with Texas in this final stanza.
And for Texas, you got to get a 3 quick. You know, you only have 1 timeout left. The time down 9. You got to try to get a good look at a 3 with only a couple ticks coming off the clock.
Booker inbounds to Lee. Looking for a quick look. Jordan Lee gets a 3 up. Oldacre able to tip it to herself for the lay-in with 8 seconds to go. Timeout, Texas. Of course, one of the big questions post-game will certainly be, where has Rory Harmon been in this fourth quarter? We don't know if there was any kind of injury, if it's coach's decision. She has not played in this quarter.
It's a full timeout.
Even.
A non-conference win against Duke, and this one here would certainly be the biggest on their resume. I'm going to turn it over there. Charlie Cream says they need to win their 2 big games this week in order to stay alive for a seed in the NCAA tournament. Already some pressure in his latest bracketology.
Texas, number 11, Justice Carlton.
Booker will inbound and likely will get it right back, or at least they'll try. Almost an over the back, and it is an over the back.
Possession.
I was going to say,
Decanter?
they're absolutely discussing this right now. That player, there is no status on a throw-in, so that player had to have clear front court possession to go backcourt. That's why Brenda.
Our rules analyst, Decanter, with us. looks like 1 foot in the front court and 1 in the back court.
Yeah, he's not calling it a back. No front court possession. No front court possession. So it is an inadvertent whistle. Brenda Pantello came to Roy to change the call.
And will there be a clock adjustment as well here?
Yes, clock cannot start. Well, actually, the clock should start when she possesses the ball in the back.
During a throw-in, there is no front
so
court
they have to go
backward
back
status
here.
on a throw-in. We are going to review the clock to see if it
Yes.
ran incorrectly.
Sorry to interrupt there, guys.
And no worries. LSU will be at Oklahoma, by the way, next weekend. One more ranked opponent coming up. And Texas at South Carolina Thursday night on ESPN. Booker will indeed get it right back. And she'll drive and score. 24 for Madison. But that'll do it. LSU, for the first time in 16 years, they knock off a top 2 opponent. And for the first time this year, Kim Mulkey asking her